Update is, I'm hoping to get a restoration estimate by tomorrow, but that is what I was told today. Our Director of Public Works, Mark Drews, our Chief Administrative Assistant, Sarah Babcock. Is Brian Adams here? Yeah. Director of West Bank Fire Services, Brian Adams, but Chief Tibbetts couldn't make it, right? Is that right? Yes. Okay. And our council members are not here today, but I will go into in my address that they were here earlier, and we had a press conference with the governor, the lieutenant governor, Senator Cassidy, and Senators, Congressman Scalise. So I was able to go on a helicopter ride with Congressman Scalise today, and I got to look at, from the air, Lafitte and Grand Isle and see the incredible and major destruction of our parish. It was a very, very difficult ride. But very much needed. I'm glad the congressman saw it. I know the senator said he's seen it, and I know the governor has seen all the destruction as well. I was shocked at the amount of terrible, terrible destruction that Hurricane Ida brought to our parish. We came back here. We had a press conference with Governor John Bel Edwards, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, Senator Bill Cassidy, and Congressman Scalise. Before the press conference, we were able to meet. They were able to meet with all of our local elected officials. We got to hear updates from many of the state departments as to what they were doing. We were able to ask questions, and probably more importantly, I was able to explain our very dire needs that we have in this parish today. Today's needs are all we could talk about because they are very, very dire. So I was able to explain how we need fuel. That is critical for us. And so they were able to deliver that message. I'm thinking at the highest levels of governments, these discussions are happening now. We also need generators. We also need ambulances. And we were also able to have discussions about how we're going to move forward, rebuild in a smarter way, in a better way, talking about possibly requesting that, you know, with these storms coming so frequently, our infrastructure needs to be better protected. And just like Hurricane Katrina, we built better after that. You can have every expectation that these conversations are already starting as to how we can defend ourselves better in the future. So, again, if you're out of town, please understand how difficult life is here now. Again, you heard our needs today are fuel. There are very long lines at gas stations. This is critical to us. The very basic services that we're able to provide in what I still call as a broken community, because although we receive pods today, major assets still have not arrived in Jefferson Parish. The very basic services that we're able to provide will no longer be able to provide in the next couple days if we don't have fuel. So this is, I'm struggling getting some of my own employees to work. Obviously, our first responders will be handled first, and they will always have fuel. But we're talking about hospital and medical personnel. If grocery stores open, they need employees to have fuel to get to work. And as I've said, our critical employees, this is an issue for us. So I stressed that need today. And the dilemma is all the cars that are waiting in line for food and MREs today are using up their gas. So people are in a very dire situation with that. The update in Grand Isle is secondary searches took place today. Pumps are now in place. The dewatering process has started. Again, the island is uninhabitable. There's 3 feet of sand across the entire island, 10 to 12 breaks. 100% of the structures had been damaged. We estimate 40% of the structures were destroyed. You cannot go to Grand Isle right now by land or by boat. I took a lot of video, as much as I could, from my phone. Gretchen Hurt is going to put that up shortly, so it's kind of a far view. I was hoping to just take these pictures so maybe you could see what your house looked like, but again, it's very grainy, but I want to put that online. So Gretchen Hurt, our public information officer, will put that online. Our Grand Isle Fire Department is clearing the power lines, cable lines, and phone lines. Louisiana National Guard is clearing the roads of all debris. And FirstNet is on the island setting up a command post and reestablishing communication for emergency services. I mentioned before there's a strong odor of natural gas on the island, and the gas line has now been turned off. This was the gas line from Lafitte Parish to the end of Grand Isle, so that's good news that that gas line has been turned off. In Lafitte, we'll begin assessing the damages after this. We're working with Mayor Kerner. The first order of business is dewatering the island, obviously. The flood water went down significantly, but there is still water in people's homes. A request has been made to the state for additional pumps, and my understanding is they are being placed on Lafitte as we speak to get the area dewatered. Because the water receded so much, they were able to move the command post further in to town, and our public works teams are removing debris from the road. Our high water vehicles can now drive all the way to the end of Jean Lafitte Boulevard. So that is a much, much better situation than it was the last time I was there. We're still working with the state to secure other resources, including a plan to establish a temporary bridge or ferry due to, I've mentioned it, the Leo Kerner Swing Bridge was damaged because 2 vessels broke loose from a dry dock and knocked that bridge off of its pedestal, and the bridge is laying across Bayou Barataria. All right, so we're going to still encourage residents to leave if they are able. Obviously, fuel's a situation, but leave if you are able, because the critical services, we don't have electricity, our sewer and water systems are very fragile, and the gas situation is getting very serious. There are lines and lines, as I've mentioned many times today, for gas. I want a reminder that the nighttime curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. is going to go on until at least Monday morning. There's a lot of conversations going on to coordinate assets and resources coming into the area, and I'm very, very grateful for so much help, so many people wanting to help. And again, we have not received that much yet, but I know help is on the way for us. But if we have immediate needs now, and we can't take care of you here, as I keep saying, we can't take care of you here. Government can take care of you, but it cannot be here. We set up the PARD recreational facility with the state. That's at 80 Arpent Road in Marrero. And again, this includes the people who were evacuated from Lafitte. Anybody who wants to get out of town, you don't have to have a need. You just don't want to be here anymore, whether it's an air condition issue, you have damage to your home, or you just rather be in a more comfortable place. Go to PARD. And they will now take you. Now, the mega shelter in Alexandria has been filled up. I was just notified about this about a half hour ago. So instead of going to Alexandria, you're going to be going to Bastrop, Louisiana. That's near Monroe. And if you don't have transportation to get to our PARD recreational department, call 504-349-5360. That's our emergency operations center for transport to PARD, and then you'll board a bus, and then you'll go to Bastrop. Again, what you will have there is what you can't get here: air condition, food, water, and critical medical services. It's free, you don't have to pay a penny, and the reverse trip home when our community is better, and it will get better, is also included. So you're not going to be stranded out there having to find your way home. The reverse trip is included. So I want everybody to consider this option as you understand what the situation is like here at home right now. We're thankful, again, for all the donations that other people outside of our community have. I've asked my team to kind of coordinate this efforts. Churches, private institutions, nonprofit organizations have reached out to us. Sarah Babcock brought on board our community development and our JeffCap departments to help compile lists and centralize that within our parish government. And we were happy that the state, through GOSEP, gave us 2 pods today. At the East Bank on the Shrine-On Airline and the West Bank at the Ilario Center, that distributed a lot of water, a lot of ice, and a lot of food. Now, we have thought that there were going to be additional pods opening tomorrow, so this is a change. Tomorrow is the same as today, only 2 locations. The Shrine-On Airline on the East Bank and the Ilario Center on the West Bank. Only 2 locations tomorrow. Happy to announce that AT&T is having phone charging stations on the East Bank and the West Bank, and they'll be available starting tomorrow morning. So this is Station 20 in Metairie on Hudson and Station 81 in Harvey on MacArthur. These are the same places for your oxygen switching stations, okay? And that's, again, tomorrow for phone charging stations. A reminder that transit is only operating paratransit services for confirmed dialysis appointments. And normal transit operations are going to resume. Just stay in touch with us. But a lot of those buses are being used for other purposes right now. For everyone still here, remember, it's 2 separate contracts. We want your debris, storm debris, separated from your regular garbage. So the debris sites are being staged, and the trucks are being certified, so pickup is scheduled for that on Monday, September 6th. Pickup is also scheduled for curbside on Monday, September 6th, and curbside recycling is suspended until further notice. Now, I'm trying to give you accurate dates, and I hate to even go out of date if I'm not sure that we can deliver on it, but this is the schedule now. You understand what I've been saying about the fuel. That would certainly affect the garbage pickup, but for right now, September 6th is the date that we are targeting for your garbage pickup. And the River Birch landfill will reopen on Thursday to accept waste. We've had no power and we sustained damage, and water intruded our building at the landfill. So further assessment of this facility is underway. Our code enforcement teams have been out on the street making assessments on all of our buildings, and obviously our top priority is still to clear the streets. If possible, stay off the roads. Mark was explaining today how, our sewer system is so fragile. We have pump trucks. They're taking 2 hours to get from a lift station to where they go empty that truck. Please stay off the roads. You need to conserve your gas if you have it. So please stay off the roads and let our first responders and our critical services try to put our community back together again. Okay, if Chief Tibbetts were here, he would want me to mention, and this is very critical because of the calls that we received in the last 24 hours, fuels and generators. We are getting an increased amount of calls for carbon monoxide poisoning. 30 calls today, 4 people had to go to the hospital. Remember, the generator can never be inside and needs to be placed 20 feet away from your home, not by any, open window or anywhere that you could have those fumes get in your home. Never indoors or in a garage, and you cannot refuel a hot generator. The water update, a boil water advisory is still in effect. Pressure is getting better each day. Remember, use bottled water or boiled water for drinking, ice making, brushing your teeth, washing dishes, and food prep. Again, our sewer system is very fragile as it is powered by electricity. We have actually had backups today. I'm hearing of several backups. Be mindful of the water that you use in your home. It goes into the sewer system. Just to get a perspective on where we are with the sewer system, we have 530 lift stations and only 105, Mark, is that the right number, are working, like a 20% capacity on our sewer system. And then 20 additional generators for our lift stations are in place now, and we've requested additional ones. And I've mentioned the vacuum trucks for the sewer stations. That went up from 15 to 45, so that's wonderful. We're fortunate to have some FEMA folks with us for the Disaster Survivor Assistance Program. So those of you who want to register for FEMA, I'm not sure of exactly what the benefits are, but right now they're going through the registration process. Please, the website is disasterassistance.gov. Disasterassistance.gov. This is to register for FEMA benefits. Or the number is 1-800-621-3362. Everyone in Jefferson Parish is in the affected area. So my understanding is everyone in Jefferson Parish can apply for these benefits, but you have to go register first. Disasterassistance.gov or 1-800-621-3362.